Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambly.
I'm Ryan Beachu.
I am Jassy Marik with sport.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rambassad with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Grieving father demands justice and answers after sudden death of his 11-year-old daughter, Ariana.
Some seem to misunderstand when we partner with people, they think we are giving up our sovereignty. No, we are partnering.
The Prime Minister defends U.S. Doral Charter in fiery clash with the opposition inside Parliament.
Over 300 people arrested since the start of the SOE. Police say they're targeting criminals, not communities.
Ahead in sport, the 118th Trinidad and Tobago Golf Open tees off. We're tracking the progress of all of the reigning champions and their challengers.
Cloudy afternoons over the last 2 days, but will the trend continue? I'll have the details in tonight's weather report.
News just coming to hand. Businessman and alleged illegal quarry operator Danny Guerra is ambushed and executed at one of his offices in Sangre Grande.
Guerra was arrested last November for an alleged plot to kill a government minister. He was arrested under emergency powers for allegedly leading an organized crime group involved in arms trafficking, money laundering, and illegal quarrying. Now, CNC3 News understands Guerra was at one of his offices along Oropouche Road when the attack occurred around 5:30 p.m.
CCTV footage shows Guerra was seated in a black van when two gunmen alighted from a white Tida and opened fire at the vehicle. They then opened the driver's side door and continued shooting at Guerra. According to the security footage, the entire ordeal unfolded in less than a minute. Well, we spoke with Guerra's uncle, Charles Guerra, who recalled his last conversation with his nephew about works expected to be done in the Sangre Grande area. A grieving father is demanding answers after the sudden death of his 11-year-old daughter, a standard 4 pupil of the Karani Hindu Primary School.
Suresh Ramdial says he is devastated by the loss of Ariana and is now calling for justice, insisting critical questions remain over what led to her death. Jesse Ramdale has more.
The weight of grief on Friday as he spoke of his daughter he will never see again, 11-year-old Ariana, whose sudden death has left a family in anguish and a community demanding answers.
Well, I just get helpless. Knowing that's the one I love, that is like my eyeball. She's the only one come out darkish like she daddy. She take my eye. Yeah, I grieve for she a lot since we've been separated by the parents, by the mom. I live for she a lot from back then until when I hear she passed away that morning.
Ariana, a standard 4 pupil at Karani Hindu Primary School, died at hospital on Thursday after being admitted with complaints of illness. Since then, conflicting accounts have surfaced about what led to her death, fueling confusion and public concern. Suresh recounted how a simple act of love never reached his daughter.
That morning she passed away. When I was leaving to go to lay some tiles, Jamaica Hospital down Londonville, I met the mom around 5 a.m. That will be Tuesday morning around 5 a.m. and cheer up. And I buy some fruits and she carried from her daughter. Yeah, she never got to eat the fruits.
He also made troubling claims that his daughter had previously disclosed sexual abuse to him, an allegation he believes was never properly investigated.
That rape took place in 2024, we say August, somebody or September. After that, I saw my child only in 2025 on June month, on June the 24th, 2025. That was the first time I saw my child since the raping. And that is the only time I get to find out about the rape. Right? And not from the mom, but it's from my daughter. She self-tells me. Then I asked the mom about it. She said yes, it happened, but she handled it.
Suresh confirmed he contacted both the Children's Authority and the police. Secretary General of the Sanatana Dharma Mahasabha, Vijay Maharaj, indicated that initial reports suggested bruising prior to her death. However, a close relative disputed those claims, insisting there were no signs of violence and suggesting Ariana had instead been bullied at school. Suresh, standing in the shadows of loss, has demanded clarity.
Up to this morning when I asked the people to run a food test on the morgue, She was vexed with me for asking them to run through that test to see if it's drugs, a cup and kill she, or if it's from the sexual abuse, or what it is. And I need some kind of justice for my child.
He suggested that until the truth surrounding his daughter's death is determined, he will continue to demand justice. The post-mortem is now expected to be performed on Monday. CNC3 News is also awaiting a response from the Children's Authority about the matter. Jesse Ramdale, CNC3 News.
Alleging a rise in violence at the school, parents of students attending Belmont Secondary are calling for the intervention of the Education Ministry and the Teaching Service Commission.
Parents say the institution is facing a deepening leadership crisis and declining academic stability. Speaking to CNC3 News on behalf of concerned parents, former PTA President Shalanda Malcolm said the situation at the school has reached a breaking point and requires immediate intervention, including the appointment of a substantive principal.
I would like to call on the Teaching Service Commission. We need our principal right now. Things are really, really bad at Belmont Secondary School, right? Hence the reason I have on a shades, because this institution is Hollywood, because we have acting deans, acting principals, acting vice principals. We need a principal right now. I have batteries here in my bag because Belmont Secondary School, we need a reset.
She also lamented the loss of extracurricular programs, which she said once played a key role in student development and discipline. According to Malcolm, football, basketball and netball activities have ceased since the current acting administration assumed responsibility, with no replacement initiatives introduced. She claimed that bullying incidents are widespread and often inadequately addressed, citing a recent case in which a student who was stabbed required 8 stitches. The parent of the injured student sought to make a report at Belmont Police Station, but was allegedly told the matter was being handled by the school.
The bullying. The bullying is a lot. It's different cases, as I just mentioned, but it is not being dealt with. It's being pat under the ground, pat under the carpet, and it's school as normal. It cannot be business as normal, right? It cannot. The bullying is out of control. Imagine a child was stabbed and they're saying accidentally. Okay, no problem. The parent went to make a report at Belmont Station and they told the parent the school is dealing with it.
CNC3 News attempted to contact Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett for comment. Our calls went unanswered. Well, Tutor President Crystal Ash says Belmont Secondary School isn't the only school facing this problem. Ash is warning that delays in appointing teachers and principals are undermining discipline, extracurricular activities, and the overall functioning of schools nationwide. He lamented the union has been pressing both the Teaching Service Commission and the Education Ministry to speed up the filling of vacancies. Tutor met with the TSC 2 weeks ago, formally raising concerns about prolonged appointment processes. Ash stressed the delays are widespread, including in Tobago, where many teachers and support staff remain on short-term contracts. He also voiced alarm over the non-renewal of student support personal contracts since November, warning that removing these services while expecting teachers to manage discipline is counterproductive. Tutor says it is awaiting a formal response from the ministry on the issues raised.
Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett says expelled students are not just allowed to be on their own, they're placed in special programs for continued learning. He explained to CNC3 News that the ministry has a 4-step support system through its Student Support Services Division. The goal is to help troubled students while also keeping schools safe. His comments follow Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessa's call for expelling violent students if necessary to protect those who want to focus on their education. Dr. Dowlett says expelled students are often sent to programs like MILAT and Serval, where they can continue their studies with structured guidance. Right now, the Student Support Services Division has about 800 staff members, including social workers, guidance counselors, and psychologists working in schools nationwide. Between 2022 and 2024, the ministry also hired 80 more social workers and 40 counselors to strengthen support in over 100 high-priority schools.
Tensions flared in Parliament today as the Prime Minister defended her decision to sign the Doral Charter during a regional security summit in Miami.
Speaking for the first time since the March 7th meeting, Kamla Persad-Bissessar insisted the agreement does not compromise this country's sovereignty.
But the debate quickly escalated after she suggested the opposition had links to drug money, a claim the party strongly denies. Doris Polo reports.
This time we were heard, TNT. This time we were seen, TNT. This time we were invited to participate.
The Prime Minister addressed Parliament for the first time since traveling to Miami, Florida, where she joined 16 other countries in signing the Doral Charter following the Shields of the Americas Summit. And the PM moved swiftly to defend the charter in Parliament, rejecting claims that signing onto the United States-led security coalition compromises the country's sovereignty.
Some seem to misunderstand when we partner with people, they think we are giving up our sovereignty. No, we are partnering. It's a partnership, it's a coalition for joint interests and to protect the people of our land.
For TNT, the PM says benefits are substantial, with stronger intelligence sharing, enhanced maritime and border security, as well as training for police and defense force officers, labeling the initiative a powerful instrument in the national security arsenal. She also insisted that law-abiding citizens remain safe, and any actions taken under the coalition would be within the law.
Any actions undertaken through this collaboration will be guided by law, ensuring the use of force and all operational measures remain lawful and accountable. I have a very good AG on my side. A very good AG. I have many lawyers on our side. We will operate within the rule of law and democratic institutions.
But the debate quickly turned heated after the Prime Minister took aim at the opposition throughout his speech.
A short distance away from this building, the new blood-red Balje House stands as a gravestone to drug money, pedophilia and theft.
Opposition MP Camille Robinson-Regis rose on Standing Order 48-4, which prohibits offensive language about members of either house. The Speaker intervened.
Prime Minister, can I ask you to use more neutral language as we move on?
But the Prime Minister pressed on.
I did not name anyone. It's a class of persons. If it falls in your garden, in your front yard, so be it. The PNM, some of them, they're local drug mafia financiers, some of them, they're pedophile lodge friends, and the fake eater food elite clearly view.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles also challenged the remarks, but the Speaker changed his tune.
Mr. Speaker, if you are saying that statement is not directed to a member of the House?
There is no member to whom it's directed. It's directed at an entity, which all members are entitled to.
Former Finance Minister Colm Imbert later questioned whether the Prime Minister was aware that 2 UNC operatives were once sought for extradition in connection with funds from the Piarco Airport project allegedly traced to a Colombian drug cartel. The Prime Minister responded sharply.
MP, no, I'm not aware. But you know what? You know what I know? No. What I am aware of is that drug money,
Reacting via text, PNM Chairman Marvin Gonzalez condemned the remarks, accusing the Prime Minister of making, quote, scandalous, unsubstantiated allegations without evidence. He said the comments were an attempt to distract from what he described as government incompetence. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister underscored the importance of several bilateral engagements, specifically highlighting discussions with U.S. officials on regional security and energy agreements involving Venezuela.
She also revealed that she spoke with Paraguay's leadership on this country's interest in joining Mercosur, the South American trade bloc aimed at strengthening trade and economic integration across the region. Founded by Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay and Uruguay, the bloc later expanded to include Bolivia and Venezuela, though the latter is currently suspended.
Well, still to come in the news, police officer arrested for tampering with seized drugs at the Chaguanas station.
Cross-crossing food vendors face eviction over unpaid rent in San Fernando.
Coming up in sport, we hear from two teenage soca warriors hoping to impress in Bolivia.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right, now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off.
Well, Parliament is currently debating a 3-month extension of the state of emergency. But earlier today, SOE Gold Commander and Deputy Police Commissioner Suzette Martin revealed that since it took effect 10 days ago, over 300 people have been arrested.
At today's media briefing, Martin sought to dispel claims that certain communities are being targeted under the SOE. We have more in this report.
The TTPS is assuring that they are not targeting any specific community during the state of emergency. On Friday, police gave their first official update since the SOE began on March 3rd. SOE Gold Commander Deputy Police Commissioner Suzette Martin addressed concerns after reports surfaced that some areas were under curfew.
In areas such as Sandy Grande and other parts of the Eastern Division, the increased police presence is based on intelligence relating to gang movement, illegal firearm activity, and emerging criminal networks. Let me be absolutely clear on this point. No community is being targeted. Criminal activity is being targeted.
Martin says the TTPS is operating based on intelligence and will not just target impoverished communities.
Our operations are intelligence-led, so where the intelligence leaders will be responding accordingly.
And have your intelligence thus far pointed at criminals seeking hideout in areas that are not deemed hotspot areas?
Yes, sir.
Over 100 people were released at the end of the last state of emergency. 4 of them have been rearrested, but Martin says the TTPS is not just going after those released.
So we arrest persons who are disrupting the community and causing violence in the community. So I would not say I'm going to arrest everybody from the last SOE, but the persons who are disrupting at this time or conducting criminal activities, those persons we arrested and dealt with according to law.
There were 943 operations with 373 people arrested. Of that, 66 people were charged, 39 preventative detention orders were requested, 16 of which were approved. 18 firearms were seized along with 949 rounds of ammunition. Police also seized 720 grams of cocaine, 230.58 kilograms of marijuana, 88 marijuana trees, and 1.45 grams of ecstasy. When asked about a list of persons of interest compiled by the U.S., Martin directed the media to Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara. Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News.
A police officer has been arrested for allegedly tampering with seized drugs at the Chaguanas police station.
Authorities say the case is being investigated both internally and through criminal channels. This follows a similar incident last year, which also led to an officer being charged. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara stressed that any officer who tries to commit crimes within the service will face consequences. He warned that wrongdoing will not be protected and offenders will face the law. Police are also urging the public to share information, saying community cooperation helps expose misconduct.
Meanwhile, 4 police officers have appeared before the San Fernando Masters Court charged with offences related to misbehaviour in public office.
Police constables Mervyn Elegon, Dawood Mohammed, Alexi Haripasad and Akil Smith are charged following allegations they conspired to conceal the discovery of a firearm and ammunition.
Investigators say officers found a firearm and ammunition during a search at the South Trinidad property on December 21st, but later reported that nothing illegal had been found. Bail with surety was granted, ranging from $150,000 to $275,000.
The matter was postponed to April 23rd.
Shock and disbelief in Tobago this morning as firefighters learned one of their own had died in a motorbike crash in Bonaccord. Emergency crews responded around 2:30 a.m., not realizing the victim was their colleague Jerome Jack. He was found still wearing his helmet, his body lying meters from his mangled bike. It was only after officers recovered his ID card that they realized who it was. Jack was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say he was riding his black Honda East along Milford Road when he collided with a Subaru Legacy. The impact flung Jack several meters while the car slammed into a nearby NATCO sign. At the Crown Point fire station, where Jack was last stationed, the mood was somber. One officer said Jack was on compensatory leave, describing him as well-liked and a true team player. A counseling session was held for staff this morning. Divisional Fire Officer Garth Jacob told CNC3 News he knew Jack's family, calling him a gentleman and a dedicated officer.
One day after a man was killed while attempting to cross the Beetham Highway, the police's road safety coordinator, Brent Batson, is warning that reckless road crossing can have deadly consequences. Batson told CNC3 News that while overall road traffic deaths are down 41% this year, pedestrian fatalities remain a major concern. He noted that pedestrians account for 54% of this year's road traffic deaths. Despite yesterday's tragedy, residents and workers in nearby businesses say they will continue crossing the highway. Among them, NP worker Andre Bramble was seen making his way across the roadway on his commute this morning. Bramble says he has been using the same route for 21 years without incident, adding that patience has kept him safe on the busy highway.
You can't just rush, you have to take your time. Some of the drivers, you know, the courtesy kind of lost, but some will still stop, some will speed up, some will think, but boy, a walkover would be nice somewhere here, you know.
Now, police are still trying to identify the man killed on the Beetham Highway yesterday. The driver was questioned by police and cautioned, however, no charges were laid.
Shareholders of the National Enterprises Limited demanded answers at Friday's AGM, citing transparency and accountability as their top concerns.
The primary focus remained on TSTT's performance and its potential domino effect on NEL's returns. More in tonight's Business Watch from Geisha Kalesa Alonso.
Questions over TSTT's performance dominated Friday's annual general meeting of the National Enterprises Limited as shareholders demanded clarity on alleged wrongdoing. This follows a controversial company retreat at No Man's Land in Tobago where huge sums were reportedly spent for the event. TSTT is one of the companies held by the National Enterprises Limited. However, Charles Maynard, General Manager of NEL, had this to say to investors on whether the National Enterprises Limited would be conducting an investigation into this matter.
While we may be the majority shareholder, right, we again do not get involved in the operational aspect of the company or any company. That company has a fully equipped management team and board of directors, right? So what we do, we make sure that any of the directional strategies, operational activities are covered within the corporate governance of TSTT and its board and its management.
During the meeting, shareholders also questioned why representatives of the companies which comprise the NEL were not at the AGM. They said they need to get further clarity on issues as they accused Maynard of painting a different picture with the same brush.
If these people cannot attend a couple of hours meeting and they're having a problem on the job, how could they help us as shareholders? One is foreign, don't know how long, and the other one having a problem on his job. And the next one, the gentleman here, he said he's not an expert. And why he is up there if he's not an expert? and now we have to vote them back in. I don't see it.
Kurindas TSTT's chairman, when asked to comment, said the concerns were valid and gave assurances that they would be taken into consideration. And now for a look at today's energy and forex prices. Geisha Kaulasa Alonso, CNC3 Business Watch.
As we head to a break, let's check in now with Jean-Marc.
We had a sunny start to the day, but some cloudiness and a few showers developed by the afternoon. We're in for a similar setup tomorrow. I'll have the details coming up just after the break.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo?
We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Ramadan Kareem from Passad's The Food King. This season, we welcome you to 30 nights of blessed value. Enjoy incredible savings on your Ramadan essentials. Central Farm Halal Duck Cut Up, £4, $99. Halal Bone Goat, £4, $110. Chana Large Grain, 2,000 grams, $39.99. Chief Curry Powder, 230 grams, $26. Cook's Made Quick Oats, 226 grams, 4 packs for $20. Nescafe Colombian Bold Blend Coffee, 170 grams, $34.99. Regal Seedless Dates, 200 grams, $14.99. Sierra Halal Chicken Franks, 340 grams, 3 packs for $20. Shake Split Peas Powder, 400 grams, 2 packs, $15. Fresh Harvest Sweetened Condensed Milk, 390 grams, 3 tins, $25. Shake Vermicelli Sawine, 200 grams, 4 packs, $19.99. Value for every home this Ramadan at Passad's The Food King. Sale ends March 19th, 2026 or while stocks last.
Several food vendors at the cross-crossing food strip in San Fernando could soon be evicted if they fail to clear outstanding rent owed to the San Fernando City Corporation.
Early this morning, one vendor was asked to leave. This triggered a scramble among 5 operators to settle their arrears owed for over a year. Brian Mohammed, who operates the cabin food cart, said he does not believe the annual rent is excessive, as vendors pay about $15,000 a year. Mohammed also raised concerns about proposed changes to vendors' contracts.
So I just make sure and take care of my spot, and well, maybe the surroundings end up thinking, because I bring a truckload of water. That is what is that, about that 10 tank water truck. Let's come and he's washed from us everything. So wherever the water reach and clear out, maybe everybody back at the thing.
Well, San Fernando Mayor Robert Parris denied claims that vendors are being pushed out to make way for a private business or additional parking. He says the city corporation is simply ensuring that vendors honor their contracts and pay their rent on time. All right, well, Jean-Marc's here, and we seem to be very concerned about bushfires during the dry season, but what about this landfill fire?
Yes, so it was noticed this afternoon, and we had confirmation of it. No word from Swim Call yet about the status of it, but this has been the 3rd large fire for the year so far at the Beetham landfill. So let's actually take a look at some of the footage from that fire from one of Guardian Media's webcams along the Beetham Highway. Here we have the exact location of the fire indicated by the yellow arrow. We can clearly see the red-orange glow of the flames, and at the time it was producing a massive volume of smoke which has already made its way all the way into Port of Spain and environs, decreasing the air quality in those areas. Now onto the satellite. The majority of the Lesser Antilles were mostly fair and breezy, while we had some cloudy periods over us today. The extra shade kept the temperature down just a bit, and despite the large Beetham fire, satellite data indicates that there were less bushfires today. Now off to our east we have a low-level trough, and it's been a while since we've seen a well-defined one such as this, and that's expected to give us some showers over the weekend. But just behind that we also have some stronger winds which we can experience from late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. So the forecast for tonight, we can expect generally fair to partly cloudy conditions with isolated overnight showers. Temperatures tonight can get down to 22 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and 24 in Tobago. Tomorrow, initially sunny conditions with some cloudiness once again developing as the day progresses. A few showers are likely to favor the afternoon, and the odd moderate shower is possible over western coastal areas of Trinidad. Sea conditions are moderate with waves in open waters around 2 meters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Winds are expected out of the east-northeast at 15 knots. So the seas are what we would generally call normal this weekend, but from late on Sunday, with the expected increase in the winds, they may become rough by Monday. So all marine interests should take note and exercise caution in any activities early next week. Looking ahead, we have some weekend showers with a slightly higher chance on Sunday, but then some strong winds return on Monday, which will result in the deterioration of the seas, and there will be a low chance of showers to start the week, followed by a couple showers on Wednesday. So maybe not the best day to go to the beach on Sunday. Maybe Saturday seeming like the better day for the outdoor activities, and then we have the breezy conditions coming in early next week. Maybe a hazardous seas alert from the Met Office.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm working this weekend.
Working.
All right, thank you so much, Jean-Marc. Well, still to come in the news, running on fumes. Apparently, Trinidadians average only 5 hours of sleep a night, and experts warn the deficit is taking a serious toll.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View. Goat, 4 pounds for $99. Chana, 5 pounds for $19.95. Delicious dates, $19.95 per pound. Big deal, 1 gallon oil, $59.95. Crown 8 kg rice, $59.95. Green butterfly evaporated milk, 3 for $17.95. 4Z vermicelli, 1600 gram, $24.95. Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Veteran broadcast journalist Edison Carr has died. He had been ailing for some time. Carr was known for his distinctive voice and professional demeanor.
He was the voice that told listeners on radio that the country was under a coup in 1990. Former managing editor of Trinidad Broadcasting, Neil Giuseppe, describes him as a very important part of his news team, one who was always full of ideas on how to make news more interesting. Director of the Media Institute of the Caribbean and Trinidad Guardian columnist Wesley Gibbings says, "You couldn't have met a kinder person in a profession that can sometimes make people hard and unyielding." Towards the end of his professional career, Carr, who valued the importance of sharing his knowledge with colleagues coming up, worked as a broadcast trainer. Guardian Media's deputy managing editor Samson Nanton was among his trainees.
I benefited from the training as well as a young broadcast journalist from him, and he emphasized that the most, that you have to go beyond the average words if you want the audience to be able to see what you are seeing. And that is the person Edison Carr was, always a professional from day to day.
Edison Carr would have been a little bit before my time, but I grew up listening to the greats. That was one of the greats in radio. I remember one time actually coming in and seeing him perform. Like school, we came in and saw him perform, and he was, he would have his mic far away and he would pitch his voice, and we always used to mock him. I am Edison Carr. We used to talk and stuff. I actually knew somebody who was his caretaker, because I know he was, down for a long while, and he will be missed, and he was one of the greats in radio in Trinidad and Tobago.
A teacher, a veteran, a gentleman who has taught me radio, and a lot of us, he's responsible for a lot of us being on air right now. And we'd like to say condolences to the Carr family, Edison Carr, the passing of Edison Carr, a legend, of course. No stranger to the Vibe City 105 FM, to the TBC radio network. That man has taught a lot of us, and of course he's going to be surely missed, and condolences to the family.
Yeah, he had such an impact. Carr testified at the 2011 Commission of Inquiry into the 1990 coup.
He said it appeared that many of the Jamaat soldiers were not aware that the plan was to overthrow the government. He said then the government should be forthcoming with the public about what happened to counter misinformation. Such a legend.
Yeah, and of course we now head to sport. Jassy was also one of those people that Carr would have also had some impact on and also trained. But in the interim, Jassy, student athletes continue to feature prominently.
Yeah, of course, the water polo is featuring tonight. Their season came to a thrilling close last weekend. We'll tell you who were the big winners across all divisions. And cheers to the weekend. Our usual list of where to go and what to do is coming your way after the break.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop 2021 Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time, or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations, or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Welcome back. The 2026 Trinidad and Tobago Golf Open teed off this morning at St. Andrews in Mocha Maraval. It sees Liam Bryden holding on to a slim lead in the championship division after day one. Defending ladies champion Jody Monbaro, meanwhile, is also ahead. Caston Cupid has details.
From the crack of dawn, scores of golfers were out on the greens and the fairways, readying themselves for a great day of golf. No one had a better view than the Mocha Wildlife, as this, the 118th edition of the TNT Open, promised to bring out the very best in every competitor. The ladies were first to get the show on the road, and at the end of day one, defending champion Jamaica's Jody Monbaro leads the way. She shot 7 over par. 5 strokes behind is TNT's Victoria Senath, while Isabella Ramdeen will begin day 2 third with a 15 over par performance. In the championship division, defending champion Chris Richards Jr. has some work to do. He's 1 over par in third heading into day 2. Second is St. Lucia's Yadu Oz, who had an even 72 today. Liam Bryden is the man in charge. By 2 strokes, he shot 2 under par 70. In the seniors division, some familiar faces were spotted as TNT football legend Russell Latipi is 5th. He shot 9 over par, while his best friend, the Prince of Port of Spain, Brian Lara, is 12th, just 1 stroke behind with 13 over par. Day 2 gets going from 6:30 in the morning. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
All right, thank you, Caston. Football now. This country's senior men's football team arrived in Bolivia on Thursday night ahead of a friendly international against the South Americans on Sunday evening. The team is now under the watch of interim head coach Derek King, who has taken over from Dwight York, while Andre Rampersad and Ryan Telfer are among a few seniors in the team for Bolivia in a move that suggests that King is beginning to groom the World Cup 2030 squad. One of 7 teenagers selected is fullback Jaden Caprietta, who graduates from the Trinidad and Tobago under-20 team.
Being this young and being around the senior team, so it always been a dream. Since I'm young, I always wanted to be a part of this, so seeing Dwight York and almost qualifying for the World Cup, it really excited me and I wanted to be a part of this. Maybe I didn't expect the opportunity to come so soon, but I'm ready for it and I'm ready for the challenge and a new chapter in my career.
Yeah, Caprietta is just 17. Another of King's teenagers is Adam Pierre, who's 18, and just like Caprietta, hopes that this is the beginning of a glittering senior career.
I know it's going to be difficult because I know it's have experienced players, so I just got to do my part. When I leave Bolivia, I'll continue to develop as a young player. I'm open to pick up everything possible while in this camp.
Water polo now. Fatima College and St. Joseph's Convent Port of Spain grabbed double victories as the curtains came down on the secondary school's water polo league at the National Aquatic Centre in Couva last weekend.
Fatima College and Queen's Royal College duked it out in the U16 boys final and were tied at 7 in the third queue. Daniel Braffett put QRC back in the lead. His teammate Aaron Villafana made it 9-7. Luke Gibson also had an eye for goal, making it 10-7. But Giovanni Felician Moses also had hot hands, and he brought Fatima back within 1 before Logan Calder showed up to the party to tie things up at 10 apiece. Zachary Lowe got in on the action in time to give Fatima its first lead, 11-10, as the teams went into the final quarter with Fatima ahead. But QRC didn't give up. Luke Gibson with his 4th of the match, 11-11. Fatima back in the lead, 12-11. Then Felician Moses pushed it further to 13-11. Calder got his 2nd to make it 14-11. Felician Moses his 5th of the match to make it 15-11. In the end, Fatima took the U16 division with a 17-13 victory in the final before going on to win the Open Male division 19-9, also against QRC. Felician Moses named MVP for his game-high 6 goals. In the girls' Open final, Bishop Anstey finally took the lead with just over a minute left in the first stanza against St. Joseph's Convent Port of Spain. In the second, Denisha Haynes made it 2-0 with her only goal of the game. Kiara Benjamin Roach cut that lead in half soon after, but Maya Dos Santos restored the 2-goal advantage. Abia Haynes added another to push Bishops ahead 4-1, as Olivia Griffith remained imperious in the Bishops' goal to keep them comfortably ahead at half-time. The midway team talk worked a charm for SJC. Shauna Murphy came back out and got her first, as did Eliana Lee. Before Murphy brought the Convent girls back level at 4, Benjamin Roach made it 5-4 as SJC had their first lead and slugged it out to an eventual 6-5 come-from-behind win to claim the title. SJC also copped a double on the day with a 22-12 win over Holy Name Convent in the U16 division. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
Trinidad's South has established cricket dominance at the under-19 level, with both titles set to reside in that district for the next year. Both the South and the Southeast zones captured wins in the TTCB's new interzone format. Here's Ian Wason.
In the TTCB's new format, all 8 zones are split into 2 groups, culminating in each group's top 2 playing in a final. On Thursday, Group A Central Zone battled first against Southeast at the National Cricket Centre. Salim Khan top scored with 51, while Ali Ramsaran added 35, and both shared in a 69-run partnership. It gave the Central team some hope for a competitive total, but Southeast Riley Gangu took 3 for 38 to stifle their progress as they were eventually restricted to 189 for 7 and 50 overs. In reply, Daniel Holder struck twice early in the innings and the Southeasterners were rocking at 25 for 2. But their skipper, Brendan Bodo, arrived at the crease and batted like he did 2 days earlier when he led Presando to the secondary schools championship. Bodo hit 9 4s and 2 6s in his 76 and was eventually the 7th Southeast wicket to fall, with them on 157. But with 3 wickets in hand and 33 runs to get, Gangu and Alves Kalipasad put on 22 before Boulder removed them both, adding to the drama with Central back in charge. But Sion Charles and Justin Ramnerus brought Southeast home to 190-9 to win by 1 wicket. In Wednesday's Group B final, the North Zone asked South to bat first and got an opening stand of 49 between Shan Ramtahal and Levi Ghani. Ramtahal scored 24 and Ghani added 29 before they were dismissed 15 runs apart, leaving South 64 for 2. Roberto Badri added 21, batting at number 3, but South were 95 for 4 when Ethan Ramcharan dismissed for 9. Aidan Owen stepped in, facing 51 balls for his 37-run top score. He had 3 fours and guided South to 162 all out in 34.3 overs. In response, North scored 135 all out in 44.5 overs, falling short by 27 runs. Fatima College all-rounder Caden Pollard was their best batsman with a top score of 26. The North team's innings folded under the fire from Owen, who claimed 3 for 18, and Amrit Pittiman, who took 3 for 20, as South won the B final by 27 runs. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Now, cycling in South continues to enjoy a strong presence, especially through the enduring impact of the Luces Brothers Memorial event, named after deceased riders Noel and Kent Luces. This year's memorial comes off on March 20th at Skinner Park. Racers from under 5 years old all the way up to Masters 70+ are expected to star alongside riders from around the region, using it as a build-up to the Easter Grand Prix. Organizers hope to retain the event's youth and community development ethos.
It's not only about their background as national cyclists, Olympians, etc., but it's also that they were so much involved in community and cycling as a whole. So we thought it best that the best fitting way to honor their legacy is to host this event for them.
Well, that's next weekend, but here's how you can keep yourselves busy this weekend.
Starting on the Courts All-Sector Netball League commences its Fast 5 knockout competition on Saturday at the Eastern Regional Indoor Sports Arena in Tacarigua from 11 a.m., continuing on Sunday from 2. Next door, the National Racquet Center welcomes action all weekend long with the National Senior Badminton Championships. At the same venue, the table tennis takes the spotlight on Sunday when the Trinidad and Tobago Table Tennis Association Spin Cup Series Day 2 gets going. Professional football comes alive in the TTPFL Tier 1. A doubleheader kicks off at the Atterbury Stadium on Saturday, where Point Fortin Civic faces Samuel Jablate from 6 p.m. Then from 8, Club Sando tackles Prisons FC. The action moves to the Larry Gomes Stadium on Sunday with another pair from 2 p.m. 1976 FC Phoenix. They take on Central FC. Then from 4, it's the top of the table clash as Police FC takes on the defending champs, Defence Force. And last but certainly not least, in the TDCB's Premiership Division 1, QPCC will be looking for victory to go top of the standings in light of round 7 bye for leaders Powergen. The Parkites will host Marching Patriots at the Oval. Clark Road hosts Central Sports Yorkshire in Penal. Victoria heads to Diego Martin, home of Merry Boys, and Prisons welcomes Presal to Aruka. Well, I'm Castan Cupid, and that's all you need to know. Where to go, what to do over the weekend in your CNC3 Sport Wrap.
Well, although we're heading down under, this is deserving of our Sport High. Pinned back against their own try line, South Sydney attempted to break out against the Sydney Roosters. The run culminated in a record-breaking moment for South Sydney veteran Alex Johnston, now the National Rugby League's highest ever try scorer. No better way to break a 53-year-old record than against your crosstown bitter rivals. 213 career tries gets Alex Johnston to the promised land and earns him tonight's CNC3 Sport High. That is it for sport this Friday evening, guys.
Thank you so much, Chassis. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Alejandra, you're still alive. Mr. Alejandro! Mrs. Lucia! Mrs. Lucia, come quick, Mr.
Alejandro! My goodness! You're so... Sophia!
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Now Now for an update to tonight's lead story. Police are still at the scene where businessman and alleged illegal quarry operator Danny Guerra was killed in Sangre Grande.
Guerra was ambushed and executed at his Sangre Grande office in an ordeal that lasted merely a minute. CCTV footage shows gunmen opened fire on Guerra, who was seated in a black van. He died at the scene. CNC3 News understands Guerra was under police guard for several days, with today being the only day officers were not with him. We spoke with Guerra's uncle, Charles Guerra, who is shocked by his murder.
You see, we go in there afterwards, and then we come in and you push road back, and then back and up, so. And that was it. Everybody smooth, everybody nice. Come in and just hear this here now. I don't know, seen by, I real genius by. I don't know what to do again.
Well, several Sangre Grande residents say Guerra will be missed, recalling that he was always charitable. Upon laying eyes on the hotel now known as Wyndham Grand in Barbados, it is clear to see why one of the Caribbean's most notorious pirates coveted the sprawling beachfront.
In This Week in Travel, we learn the history behind Sam Lord's castle, and Jassy Marie tests his culinary skills to make a popular Bajan sweet treat.
Welcome to the Wyndham Grand Barbados. What stands as a 400-room all-inclusive modern luxury hotel today has a history dating back to the 1800s.
So it's a real castle that belonged to a famous pirate in Barbados called Sam Lord.
Lord, a 19th century pirate, claimed the territory, which is located in what is now St. Philip Parish on the southeast coast of the island. Using his ill-gotten wealth, Lord built a gorgeous Georgian castle, remnants of which still stand today.
He also used to hang lanterns in all the coconut trees so that ships sailing by would actually think that they'd got into safe harbour, and then they would crash against the rocks, and he would then send out his men to plunder the ships and get their treasure. So the myth says that there's a lot of gold and precious treasure outside of these shores.
True or not, the real treasure of this place remains quite visible to the naked eye. Against the backdrop of this turquoise fantasy, among the authentic experiences offered to visitors is food that is 90% locally grown, pulsating entertainment, spa treatment par excellence, and even horseback riding along the sandy shores. Our visit also included a cocktail-making class judged by none other than award-winning bartender Alex Chandler. From the island's east, we head west to the St. James Parish home of Barbadian confectioner Maria Joseph, one of the facilitators on the unique program Dine with a Bajan, designed to let travelers experience real Barbadian culture through food. Today's treat is conky, but wait, plot twist. Before getting to try them, we have to make them ourselves.
Chef Jassy here.
Yeah. Mostly enjoyed around Barbados Independence Day celebrations in November each year, this steamed sweet pudding or cake is a mixture of corn flour, grated pumpkin, sweet potatoes, coconut, spices such as cinnamon and nutmeg, sugar, butter and eggs. Raisins are optional, but also the source of a heated national debate.
And you can tweak it to what you like. So some people like raisins, some people don't like raisins, so they put a little bit, or they put none, right? Some people like cinnamon and nutmeg. They put a little bit more.
All ingredients are folded into a dense mixture.
This is literally the trial by fire. Let's see what's in the pudding. That tastes good. I think that's chef's kiss.
Carefully laid out into banana leaves, folded and then placed into a pot to be steamed. As explained by Maria, even the midrib or beam of the banana leaf has its place in the tradition, used as a mesh at the bottom of the pot.
And all of that time, the flavors of the banana goes back inside and make it taste really, really good.
A quick sip of a refreshing homemade Barbadian fruit punch, or roughly 15 minutes after being placed to steam, and the conkies are ready to be eaten.
It's time to taste test.
A tasty treat that makes me feel every bit Bayesian. From Bridgetown, Barbados for This Week in Travel, Jassy Marique, CNC3 News.
That looks delicious.
Jassy had a time there.
He did. Well, whether it's nodding off after a long night or fighting to stay awake during the day, almost all of us have been guilty of dozing off at some point.
But if daytime drowsiness is becoming a habit, it may be more than just the itis. Many Trinidadians simply are not getting enough rest. Brent Panera reports on why proper sleep matters for World Sleep Day.
Everybody sleeps. Kings, presidents, street dwellers, everybody sleeps. And almost all of us are guilty of dozing off in public after a particularly sleepless night. But if you find yourself falling asleep during the day, don't be so quick to blame it on the itis. It may be a sign that you are sleep deprived.
Trinidadians on the average are getting anywhere between 5 and 5.5 hours sleep, which is far lower than the recommended amount of sleep the body and mind needs to rejuvenate and repair itself.
Gregory Arno, a certified respiratory therapist, says adults should be getting anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and children somewhere between 8 and 10 hours of sleep every night. Anything less leads to a sleep deficit. But if you think that just catching up on sleep on the weekends after a busy week will work, think again.
You can sleep for 20 hours to make up for the 6-7 hours you lost a couple of days before. So it's obviously better to get more sleep than not, obviously, if you need it. But at the same time, you never recover from that process of what the body needs to go through from night to night. And unfortunately, it can't be made up in 1 night or 2 nights just trying to sleep more on the weekends.
Sleep deprivation can lead to weakened immunity, poor focus, and mood swings. How you sleep and the quality of sleep you get is also very important. Stress and anxiety, blue light from mobile phones suppressing melatonin, even your bedroom being too warm, these can all affect your rest. The good news is there are some easy ways to make sure that your sleep is good.
Put the work aside, put those strenuous conversations away, and then lastly, put that phone and tablet and television away. Not exposing yourself to the blue light will help your brain actually know that it's time to sleep, increasing your melatonin and decreasing the cortisol, ensuring that the room is cool, that you have it quiet and dark, as you said. Make your bedroom a sanctuary. You can't do everything in your bedroom. You can't eat, you can't study, you can't work.
And for every Caribbean parent out there who hates to see their kids snoozing around the house, or as we say in Trinidad, lahaying, consider this.
During sleep, there are so many different things that go on with our ability to manage our hormones, for our brains to be able to consolidate information and memory, for us to be able to get testosterone development, strengthening our immune system, regulating our blood pressure and sugar. Most people think that sleeping is only about dreaming or a non-productive time, but it's actually probably the most productive time of our day is during sleep.
You're welcome, kids. Brent Panera, CNC3 News.
Well, as today is World Sleep Day, we asked members of the public what keeps you up at night.
This is what you had to tell us.
My bills, thinking how you're going to pay your bills. You have rent, you have mortgage, you're trying to send to school. The bills. No worries, no problem, nothing. I just like to be up. And on Friday night, honestly, God, it's more cool. You feel more relaxed. You could concentrate on anything you decide to do. You take up your Bible, you read.
Basically, stuff that goes on at work as well as the responsibility of taking care of my family.
No, really, I'll be reading. Otherwise, I'm relaxing, I go. Studying my bills, studying how to maneuver during the course the next day, what I have to do the next day, apply my day with focus. So I started to make sure my mental in, I then make sure my physical in, and to make sure that my spiritual in. So I like to stay up at night and think about what did I do today, and how can I better myself for tomorrow, and what I have to do tomorrow, and what I have to do tomorrow to better myself for the future.
keeps you all up at night?
It's my cell phone.
A little bit of what persons there said, you know, just the stresses of life.
The same as Ryan. I'm my own worst enemy, my cell phone.
You know, absolutely nothing keeps me up at night.
Really?
I can fall asleep like this throughout anything. Yeah, I love my sleep.
I'm actually one of those, and Mr. Anna was saying it, I have to practice weaning myself off myself.
Of the phone.
Yeah, because that keeps me up at night.
Well, now, you know, a happy World Sleep Day. It's not just my favorite day because it's sleep day, but because it's Friday, guys. It's the end of the week.
And although you can't catch up on sleep lost on weekends, I have some plans for mine.
All right, well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Rambley.
I'm Ryan Beach.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rabasad. Have a good night.